sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
So the answer to that is to stop being stupid.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of a plastic. Away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles, sort of thing.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
You're ready to fight, aren't you? I can feel it!
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Sorry?
The servicing costs on the debt that you're going to have to carry, that you're adding to now, right?
Interest rates are at historic lows, Glenn.
There's the funds.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
He's announcing a catalog, everybody! Hey, right on. Give him a round of applause. Come on, give him a round of applause. You can't afford a home. You might end up in a tent. Your rent is doubled, but hey, you've got a brand new catalog.
When I'm prime minister, I will keep my promises. Now, another promise. Let me try again.
A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
We need to trigger an axe the tax election as soon as possible.
We'll do it live. No, we'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, that's all that's coming off. There's nothing else coming off, yeah. I'm not Justin Trudeau here.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Welcome to a special Tuesday night live stream here on the channel. It is our final stream from Calgary. So what better way to wrap up where it all started by having one final stream talking about the election roundup. Of course, joining me tonight, not typically, but now typically, Mrs. Fringe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's great to have you here tonight. And there's a lot of people in the chat, guys. Get those thumbs up. Get the like button hit. Let's see if we can break a viewer record on our final evening in Calgary before we leave the city. I know there's some good people out there that don't mind hitting that thumbs up button down below. Get it hit. Let's get a roll call going on while we're waiting for people to get in here. Let me know where you're watching from. I think I saw Lawrence earlier saying it's his first time in here. Welcome into the stream. Welcome into everybody here. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's see if we can get somebody from every province and state in the Canada and the United States. I highly doubt it, but let's see what we can get done.
Worth a shot.
We'll get to who we can. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We got Nelson coming in from New Brunswick. Welcome into the stream. We got Jancor from Ottawa, Ontario. We've got Lee coming in from Edmonton. Canadian Nomad from outside the capital of Canada. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. We got Phoebe Long joining us again. We've got It's Mike from Canmore. He's coming in from Calgary tonight. Welcome in. We got a Drazen kid coming in from Leduc with the LFGs. Welcome in. We got Carol and Gerald joining us once again from Calgary. Welcome in. We got Luca coming in from Burnaby, BC. We got Chris Lucas coming in from Edmonton. We got Beaver Dam Man coming in from Lloyd. We've got the Credo 1010 joining us from Alberta tonight. Welcome into the stream. We've got Becca CRI coming in from Lloyd, Alberta as well. Welcome in. Currently, though, in Pennsylvania. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. Don't work too hard. We've got the Ontario Hunderbow. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Coming in from Ontario. We've got Arden coming in from BC with Pierre for PM. Couldn't agree more. Welcome in. We've got Vox Guitar Rocks. They do indeed. Welcome in. Great to have you in. We're going to talk about that tonight.
Yes.
Moose on the Loose had a fantastic video today. Shout out to Moose on the Loose. We're going to talk about that tonight. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. DVA coming in from Calgary. Welcome in. It's great to have you here. We've got Justin joining us from Salmon Arm, BC. We got, how do you pronounce that? Moro Prozia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Coming in Cayuga, Ontario. We've got Keith coming in from Elkhorn, Manitoba. Once again, we've got Gina joining us once again from Saskatchewan. Delphine coming in from Fort Mac. We've got Derek joining us from Sydney. Carly coming in from Owen Sound. We've got Ram Rider from London, USA. Welcome in. Patricia coming in from Sherwood Park. We've got Sharon joining us from Manitoba. Charles coming in from Maple. Carney must go. We're going to make him the shortest term prime minister in history. In fact, he's not even prime minister. I don't know why I'm saying that. But just for those who like to hinder on, oh, he's the prime minister now. Yeah, we're going to make him the shortest lived prime minister. He's going to go. David Brewer joining us once again from Springfield, Missouri, USA. Love our American viewers. Welcome into the stream. Phoebe is joining us from Innisfail, Alberta. We've got Lee from Leduc. Unknown coming in from Quebec. We've got Jennifer joining us from Victoria. Who else do we have here? We've got Holly joining us from Newfoundland. My little Holly. It's good to have you in here. Hey, bro, where are you going? We're moving. We're moving up north, west of Edmonton. And can't wait. Can't wait. Debbie's saying, Tiffany, you look fantastic. Stop hitting on my wife. I'm joking. I'm joking. Welcome in. We got Carbon Tax Carson coming in from Porno Viagra. Great to have you here again. Welcome in. It's Terry also from Priestville, Saskatchewan with a Go Pierre. We got Matthew coming in from Leduc. Steel City Coach coming in from Stony Creek. And we've got Two Stroke Smoke coming in from good old America. I got to get caught up in the chat, guys. It was a very long roll call tonight. I sincerely apologize for taking too long. I'm waiting for people to get into the stream because we have a lot to talk about tonight.
It's going to be a good night.
I want to cram it all in, and then I have something special for you guys that we're going to kind of finish off with tonight. Since this is our last stream in Calgary. So I'm going to try and get through things as best as I can, as fast as I can. Bear with us. Before we get to what's happening in politics, or before we get what's happening in this current 37-day election, we got to get to memes, because that's what you guys come here for, isn't it? You guys come here for the memes. We got to get into the memes. Let's go. I like this one. I found this one on Twitter. Oh, baby, tell me what you want. It says, talk to me like you're an effing idiot. It says, elbows up. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh, my God.
There you go. You know what's funny is elbows up. All these libtards are flexing like elbows up is a good thing. It's actually a really dirty move in hockey. So basically what the Liberals are saying is let's fight dirty. Gotta love that.
They know what they're saying.
They do know what they're saying.
They just know everybody else.
Speaking of the Liberals, Mark Carney left town in his campaign bus just to get to his chartered airplane. It wasn't like Jugmeat where he has to travel around the country in a bus because he doesn't have any money to campaign. But here's Mark Carney with his bus clearly decked out in Liberal fashion, ready for the next election. The good old retard bus getting ready to move full force. I love that we can use that word again.
Yes.
We're taking it back. It's Derek saying, how about hands on instead of elbows up? I'll tell you one thing. If you haven't seen yet, we do have the alternative to elbows up. It's our Fingers Up Canada F. Carney shirts that are now available in our shop, as well as our Canada First skull logo designs. They are both on sale, both available in the shop right now. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to the shop. I'll put a link down below in the channel for you guys. I know it makes all the hate watchers so mad when we shill our products, but here it is right here. If you want to go buy yourself one of our Fingers Up shirts, and they've been selling like crazy. We're almost sold out. So head over and grab one now if you're going to get one. Again, let's trigger all the hate watchers. That's always a fun time, isn't it? Carol Munger becoming a member for 5 months. We just spent our second day door knocking. We've talked to so many people. There's not many people that like Carney.
That's amazing.
You're going to find that in Calgary. But thank you.
I love it.
Thank you so much for re-upping your membership. Mark Carney, he's copying a lot of people. He copies all of Pierre's policies. In fact, he's Pierre 2.0. We all know the Carney Lies hashtag, but did you know Mark Carney had a very promising acting career before he got into
I did know
central
that.
banking?
Yeah.
In fact, we found one of his old movie posters. Here he is from one of his more critically acclaimed movies, Top If you've ever heard Mark Carney in front of a microphone, you'll get exactly what this is about. This was a good one. I liked this one.
Full throttle, half sentences.
There you go. He's got the need.
Should not be viewed by
There's
anyone.
Rated R retarded. See, we're taking it back. I like this one because we're going to get into this a little later in the show with the good old meme goose. How do you know Ghislaine Maxwell? And there's Mark taking his leave as quickly as possible. There's Canadian Nomad becoming a new member of the channel. Welcome to the Patriots Club. Thank you so much for re-upping your membership. Just a reminder, folks, this Friday, 3 days from now, 2 days. Is it 2 or 3?
3. It's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday today?
It's only Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Friday night, regardless how many days, this Friday, end of the month stream, we're doing our giveaway. If you want to be qualified for a giveaway, any one of our items from our merch shop is up for grabs to one lucky member. As long as you're a member of this channel, if you join the Patriots Club, you're automatically entered into that draw. You could win yourself one of those brand new Fingers Up shirts or any item from the shop at your choosing. So tonight is the night to re-up or join if you haven't already. Let's get into it. One of the things I want to hit on tonight. Oh, we got one more meme. One more meme, because I seen this on Twitter and Mrs. Fringe had a really good laugh.
Oh, I did.
Have you guys?
Mrs. Fringe laughs a lot, I think.
You guys have seen what's happening with good old Elon Musk. He's having all of his dealerships torched down. It's embarrassing. All of the left people who talk about the People's Party of freedom of choice, of tolerance, their summer of love, while they're running around torching Elon's dealerships. We don't like it. Running around America, torching the dealerships. Aaron Morrison becoming a member for 6 months. I love that bus. And we're just missing the other clown to be standing beside Carney. Well, that's okay, because I'm going to put an end to Mark Carney. We're going to make sure Pierre wins this election. And then the tariffs will drop and everybody's going to make Canada great again. Let's go. If you've been following Elon, they're now celebrating his SpaceX rockets.
Yeah.
Here you go. People are now spray painting SpaceX rockets on Cybertrucks to support Elon Musk.
I love it.
They're getting
that support.
They're getting that support out there, ladies and gents. There's I love that I'm everybody's circus monkey on this channel now. Everybody, guys.
Nobody's here for politics anymore. We just want to see you dance.
Guys, no one's here for the politics. You guys, you just want to come out and ask for me to do the voices. It's crazy. Don't do that. Well, now we got to get into politics. Stop it, you bastard.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
More cowbell. Well, more cowbell indeed, ladies and gents. Let's get into what we're talking about tonight, shall we? We got to cover politics. We're going to cover what's going on. I'm going to get to the main event, which is going to be what Moose on the Loose covered. I want to get into Moose on the Loose because that one was major today. It never gets old, says John. Oh my God. I just realized we've got 500 viewers in the live stream. It's crazy. Guys,
hit that like button on the way in.
Why don't you go below, hit the thumbs up button? It's free. Guys, hit that button. Support the stream. You know you wanna.
You just lost 2 viewers by doing that.
I just lost. Guys, I got viewers walking out. They're walking away. How? Okay, let's go. Did somebody say Celtic Canucks in the chat here? Is Celtic in here? Guys, I don't know if you know this, but Celtic Canuck is a good friend of mine. We're going to be starting our own little show in the near future. Stay tuned. I don't want to announce too much.
We need to get through this move first.
We're going to get through the move, and then Celtic and I are going to start our own little show on a separate channel for you guys to come and watch, hopefully weekly. We still got to iron out the details.
But it's coming.
But it's coming. It's coming faster than a high school graduate on prom night. Yeah. It's coming. Keep your eyes open. David with $5 super chat. 4,000 people at the Pierre rally in Hamilton tonight. The conference, this convinces me even more. The polls are rigged.
Oh,
they're rigged.
100% they are.
Let's talk about those polls because they're rigged. How? Let's go. Cat Canada showing today, if you've been following, I almost did walking again.
You did.
If you're following what's going on with PPC, there was a video that came out this week that has been doctored. I know, right? These things don't happen in elections.
Was
it's
it
never,
on the CBC?
It's never going to happen. But one of the things that are coming out is that here's the real video up top. Here's the fake one down below. Projections were going out that the PPC was supposedly going to win 84 seats in the federal election.
Wow.
And these videos, these fake videos, guys, this is why I'm saying hit that subscribe button, join the channel, get your news here. Unacceptable Fringe. Okay, I'm stopping with walking. Check out the video. Watch the top, watch the bottom. Watch how they're doctored. All this interference is coming our way in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Here we go. You guys see it? You see it over here? Grassy knoll, up and to the right, over here. This is down and to the right. Down and to the right. PPC with 52 seats. Up here, too close to call, 52 seats. So this was all doctored out of a CTV News video to put online to start, again, convincing people that PPC have votes so that people will start to branch away from the Conservatives. PPC, I've always said, look, I don't disagree with some of their policies, but the problem is they don't hold any seats, and they're here for vote splitting. Go Max, he goes and hides in Florida, and then he comes up whenever he needs to run an election. He's grifting for money. Watch the rest of this. That's insane, right? I seen Xylo chiming in the chat saying, says the guy who can't even Photoshop Max into the stream.
Yeah.
Let's get something straight. That photo is the one that's online for the election. In fact, has Max even said he's running? Because he's not in there. He's not in any of the media kits. And am I going to Photoshop him in? No, because if he's not being featured anywhere, then that tells me exactly, like, is he going to the debate? Is he going to be doing anything of relevance?
You had no audio.
It says we had no audio. I mean, it's still okay without the audio because actually it's probably better without the audio because it's a CTV video. So let's keep it that way.
It was on purpose.
It was on purpose. I swear we did it on purpose. We did it on purpose. Somebody saying Max is canning in Florida. I mean, look, guys, I don't want to hate on Max. I've said a million times over. I know Max, and I got no problem with Max. I've had no issues with Maxime Bernier. The only issue I have is that the way he runs things. I'll take him serious when he gets a seat. In fact, I reached out to my good friend Jason Levine this week, who's running in Spruce Grove for the PPC. And I let him know that I was voting Conservative, that this election is too important to try and split votes, that had this have been Pierre already in and maybe we're dissatisfied. Any other time, I want to listen to those ideas, that I'm happy to vote on those seats if the policies are in place. Jason Levine does some great work. In fact, I've invited him onto the show at some point. He's geared up to come onto the Fringe to talk.
This vote is just far too important
to split. It's too important to split. And he understood when I told him, look, I have to give my endorsement to Pierre. I have to give it to the Conservatives. We want out of this mess first. Then we'll talk. I'm not saying Pierre's the answer, but he's the best choice we have, and we can't afford a Conservative minority, and we can't afford any minority or a majority on the Liberals. We have to do what's best in this election.
Let's get Canada back.
I now get why this channel exists. That food bill must be daunting. I love the trolls.
Thank you
so much. Yes, the food bill is massive. I don't know if you know this. We have 3 children.
Our kids kind of eat us
out of house and home. Love the trolls. Welcome in. You're so beautiful. Have a blessed day. I saw Radio Reaction. Where is he? Where is he? I watched the Hamilton rally. It was packed. The lineup was out of sight.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I want to touch on while the PPC are getting their fake videos put out on the internet. Pierre's rallies, all of his rallies so far, ever since the election has been announced, standing room only, hundreds, if not thousands of people turned away at the doors, told they can't get in. Whereas Mark Carney, he's just locking everybody out because he doesn't want to answer their questions. Queen Esther saying Maxime Bernier is running. They won't let him in the debate like last time. Media isn't a friend of him, just like they are, just like they treat Pierre. Fair enough. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Max doesn't have a seat. Like I understand.
But Carney doesn't have a seat either.
And I'll tell you right now. When I spoke with Max in Winnipeg, when I bumped into him in the security lineup at Winnipeg Airport, we sat for about a half hour. We were both waiting for our flights. He told me a lot of things circulate around the fact that it's not the media. He doesn't have a seat. So my guess is that he's not in the debate because he doesn't hold a seat. I know people are going to say, well, Mark Carney doesn't either. And that's true, but he is the leader of the Liberal Party and it is the current ruling party in Canada. So I think there's a concession made there. Has Pierre mentioned reinstalling free speech in Canada at all? I may have missed it. Well, he's going to repeal C-69. Pierre supports independent media. We saw this week that the Pleb, shout out to the Pleb, by the way, invited to Pierre's rally in Toronto. He was given media access. He was actually given front row seating to cover Pierre's rally live on his YouTube channel. And I gave him a shout out on Twitter. I was happy to see Pierre's people, I've been calling for it for a while, start coming on these channels, start acknowledging the people that are towing the line for you, because this is your base. This is who you want at these events. This is who you want covering you, pumping up your numbers, pushing you along with those viewers. So good for the Pleb. Shout out to the Pleb. I'm glad to see he got a sit.
So are they going to do a debate? Because I know the French debate was canceled.
The French debate, Mark Carney has backed out of the French debate because he's a chicken. I want to talk about that. First, I got to acknowledge Vox saying Pleb was on Viva's channel. He was. Pleb doesn't do a lot of interviews. No. In fact, I've horsed around with him about coming on here. He says, I don't do interviews. I don't want to do interviews. But he is good friends with Viva. I know I haven't spoke to David in a while.
Yeah.
But like I talk to Viva from time to time. He's a nice guy. Actually, Viva helped the Pleb a lot.
Yeah.
In his upcoming. And it's good to see the two of them collaborating. Again, I'm very happy for the Pleb. Congratulations to the Pleb. Hopefully, since Pierre's more focused on Ontario, hopefully we see more coverage from the Pleb as time goes on. I'd like to see more access being given. Jim saying, where's Max? I think he's in Florida. I don't know, but thank you for the $5 super chat. If you're asking about the thumbnail, look, we took the thumbnail from another site, like the election page. It's anyway, there still are two debates. So yes, there are. Here's what I want to talk about with that, because I've been talking about this for a while. And I said this, guys, I believe it was either last week or the week before when we were talking about the elections. I said, the way Mark Carney treats the media, the way he gets short with the media, one of two things was going to happen. He's going to run away from the debates, or he's going to go and get absolutely destroyed. He's going to get chewed up and spat out by Pierre. Now, obviously, he took the latter. He said, I don't need this. I don't need the French vote, which is going to favor the Bloc now. So Pierre actually has his work cut out for him, because now he has to focus on those French votes. Of course, he'll be at the French debate. And now he also has to focus on Southern Ontario, where Mark Carney is going to be hammering in to get those votes. It doesn't look good for the Liberals.
No.
For Mark Carney to turn around and walk away. And we said that when we called it before, that if Mark Carney turns around and says, I'm not going to debate Pierre in any of the debates, it's going to pose bad on the Liberals. They're going to drop in points. In fact, if you look over to the polling sites, Pierre's actually leading Mark Carney right now, ever since that happened. I believe he's gone up a couple of points over Mark Carney. Now, again, I don't buy into the polls, but I'm just letting you know that ever since that happened, Pierre has taken an uptick. Nilok, $2 super chat. Let us know when you're doing a meetup in Spruce. I will indeed. It'll be in a bit. It's not going to be right away. We need to get settled. We need to get the studio built. Get a little comfy. And then we'll get a
Miss French needs a job first.
Miss French needs a job. We'll find you a job. Will, with becoming a new member of the Patriots Club, welcome to the Patriots Club. Thank you for joining us. What is it? We don't discuss other channels on this one? No, we don't promote other channels. I'm happy to promote other channels, but just don't do it in the chat. There's been a lot of stream sniping and things like that and poaching. We don't agree with that. The reason I don't want that happening is because if you guys were doing that on other channels on our behalf, I wouldn't want that kind of behavior either.
No.
You guys have seen me talking on other channels or other streams about emails that come to me that are sent to other politicians, shooting this channel down, promoting other channels. We don't want to have any part in that. We don't want to. It's so scummy. Just don't do it, guys. But again, shout out to the pleb. Shout out to Viva. Happy to promote those guys. We got one more to shout out. Moose on the Loose. I'm a big fan of David. I really like David. I want to have David on the channel. He's tough to get a hold of.
Yeah.
But I want to have David on the channel. I want to talk.
That was Christopher Walken. I want to talk.
I want to talk. I want to talk to David one of these days about cowbell. Now, I want to talk about this video he put out. Don't worry, we got audio this time. Donovan saying it's a great channel, Moose on the Loose. He's an amazing channel. He just recently hit 100,000 subs, so congrats
awesome.
to Moose on the Loose. What's he sitting at right now? 108,000 currently. Good for him. Good for David. Glad to see that. I don't know if you guys know this. He had a channel before getting into Moose on the Loose that was completely nuked off of YouTube. He lost everything. So I'm so happy to see him hitting 100,000 subs, getting his play button. This channel's next.
Yes.
Okay? There's me being nice. This channel's next. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Let's get that. There it is. There's Xylo. Let's get the Fringe to 100K. Yes, absolutely. Let's showcase what Moose was talking about here, because he starts talking about good old Jeffrey Epstein. Now, he uses a very unique name because, again, censorship on the platform. I'm going to stop periodically. I'm not going to show the whole video. I just want to show what was really important out of it. And then I'm going to encourage you to go and watch David's full video.
Check it out.
Even if you've already watched it, put it on play in the background, put it on mute, just run it from the beginning to end. Help the guy get some views. Not that he needs it.
No.
But that way the Fringe is helping him out by showing his material on this channel. Let's show what David was talking about. And then we'll discuss. Well, we'll break in from time to time. Let's go.
Is Joffrey Eggstein's book. Joffrey Eggstein, up here in the top left corner. This is the redacted version. The one to the left here up in this tab. As you can see in that little preview window is the unredacted version. I won't be showing that on my channel because I don't want to get in trouble for showing personal information. But you can see here, every single person in Eggstein's book has, these are all phone numbers and has address. It has email addresses, home addresses, etc. So I want to chime in. If you missed this video, or if you missed what this is talking about, he's essentially talking about the world famous photo of Mark Carney and his wife standing next to Ghislaine Maxwell at what looks like a picnic or event.
They don't know each other.
And Mark Carney saying, we don't know each other. I bumped into her somewhere and she was just photobombing, similar to what Elon Musk had to say. But here's where Moose comes with the receipts, and it's alarming. Have both versions, and you can see this is 90 pages of people that Eggstein had in his book. It's time to talk about this because there's some serious links here that need to be addressed. So first off, we've got Mark Carney's wife, Diana Fox Carney. So she has a sister. Her sister's name is Tanya right here. Her sister Tanya would go on to marry Robin Caesar III Baron Rotherwick. So this is Mark Carney's wife's sister's husband. He went, and as it says here, put in Tanya right there, Tanya Jane Fox, Diana Carney Fox, Mark Carney's wife. This is Mark Carney's sister-in-law. Just to show you, here they are together. This is that Baron guy, Lord Rotherwick, as it says here, Lord Rotherwick. And another one here, just to show you, article, Tanya Rotherwick. She took on his name. This is Mark Carney's wife's sister, Tanya Rotherwick. Now that we have that set, we know who these people are. You know where this is going. You just know that when I scroll down here, you know what you're about to find. So scrolling down to the R, here it is, Tanya Rotherwick. And Robin, go back here, Lord Rotherwick, this guy's name, Robin Caesar, going back to Joffrey Eggstein's book, Robin Rotherwick, Tanya Rotherwick. This is Mark Carney's sister-in-law. His wife's sister is in Joffrey Eggstein's book. Why are they in the book? Well, I can tell you why they're in the book. Because there's strange things afoot at the Circle K. They're going to the island. At least
Yeah.
that's my guess. Now, a lot of people saying, well, Fringe, what does this have to do with Mark Carney? Because this is his sister-in-law and her husband. What does this have to do with Mark Carney? Good old Moose is going to get into that. And people saying, well, Fringe, why didn't you bring this up on the stream on your own time? I don't know where Moose got these redacted pages from, for one, and the unredacted ones. I know Trump released them.
Yep.
But I'm just lazy. And I don't have time with this move, but also because I wanted to give David the shout out that he deserves. This is really good investigative work. Again, let's continue. And now you're going to see where it really starts to come together.
Now, I can tell you, I'm not going to show you this, but I can tell you by looking at all this, there is 7 phone numbers to get in contact with not only Mark Carney's sister-in-law, but also with Mark Carney's wife, which is right here, Diana. You can see in the bottom corner. I'm going to move over to the unredacted version because this one here is a little blurry and down-resed. So I'm going to have to redact this myself, but this is the unredacted version. And you can see here, Diana. So this is Mark Carney's wife's phone number, and she has 2 phone numbers here, one H and one W, home and work number, I would assume. There's one for country, which is another phone number. Above it is an address here, which we'll get back to in a second. There's an email address that I'll blur out. And there's 2 more phone numbers, one that's right here and one that's right here. And both of those are for Tanya and Robin Rothwick. So they have 2 numbers. Mark Carney's wife has 2 numbers. There's a country one, and then there's 2 other numbers above it here, which could be for Mark Carney. Don't know. Don't know. So now let's get to this. Cornbury Park, Charlbury. This is important because this famous photo that we've seen, which is on Shutterstock, if we take a look, there's a whole bunch of them, as you can see. And I'll just go to show you a few of these photos here. So these all come from the same photographer. Now there's 2 photos here. We've seen this one before, the famous one, but there's also this one, which also has Maxwell in the photo, talking to Mark Carney's wife right here. If we go back to this photo, let's take a look here. So if we look where this is right here, Cornbury Park, Oxfordshire. If we take a look back at the document, Cornbury Park right there. This address here is Mark Carney's address, or was his address. I'm assuming he still owns that home in England for this here, because this party was at Mark Carney's house. As you can see here, if you click on any of these, it's a Wilderness Festival, Cornbury Park, Oxfordshire, Britain, the governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney. So this is an event that was put on at his house and his grounds.
So I'm going to cut it off there because I don't want to show too much of David's video. I know we've already had to show a very big clip because I wanted full context as to what's going on here. Even though Mark Carney's sister-in-law is listed in that book, Mark Carney's address is underneath it, where he's had this party, where he was with Ghislaine Maxwell. What Pierre needs to do at this point is use this during his campaign and ask, why are you with them? Why are you with these known criminals? Why are you hanging around them? Why won't you disclose your assets?
He has a lot to hide.
They've all been to the island. I'm willing to bet. Oh. I'm going to say it's my personal belief just to cover my butt.
Let's see the flight logs. I betcha.
I'd love to see the flight logs. Again, Trump has said that more is coming out in the future. Again, huge.
It would be awesome if he let those out before this election. Would be something.
But it's a huge step in the right direction for Pierre Poilievre if he uses this to his advantage moving forward. I sure hope he does. Save Canada, $2 super chat. We got to make sure the conservatives see this. Absolutely. Share out David's video. Go on social media. Post it. Again, go and watch it. If you haven't, it'll tell YouTube people are watching it. They like it. Hit a thumbs up on that video. Again, go and give David a hand. Again, shout out to David. Amazing work here. Glad to see somebody talking about it. Yeah. Somebody mentioned earlier, if David can find this, why isn't mainstream media talking about it? Well, because they're all in on it.
Yeah, they want to hide it.
That's part of this. That's part of what's going on.
Their job is to hide the information, not leak it.
Radio Reaction saying it's all making Mark Carney a perfect replacement for Justin Trudeau. It's 100%. In their DNA. Absolutely. Miss Danny saying, I feel a lot more coming out as well. I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. Angela saying they're the management. Well, I'll wait for full documentation about that.
Yep.
But this should be the nail in the coffin for Mark Carney. It won't be, because we know that Pierre will find this controversial. He's probably not going to bring it up. But my question is why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it to them to decide if they want to or not. They've obviously got a clear path for their campaign. But if I were Pierre, I'd be asking Mark Carney, you can't get around this anymore. You can't dodge this and say you don't know them. This event took place on your property. And she's clearly seen talking to your wife. You're in their black book. What's going on?
Yeah. You can't hide it anymore.
What's the deal? Nelson Cade?
You could come out with video proof and they would still deny.
And they'd still deny it. Deny. Nelson Cade says the wood chipper. I couldn't agree more. Lee with a $5 super chat. Election started. Is everyone happy with how he's coming out swinging now? I want to talk about that. Absolutely. Pierre has been nailing it on all the heads. If you guys missed it, he made an announcement. 15% income tax reduction for Canadians if he wins the election. Mark Carney can't copy all of Pierre's policies.
He could say he is, but he's not going to do half the things he's saying.
Here's the funny thing going into this election that a lot of people fail to realize is a lot of people are calling out, hey, Mark Carney keeps copying Pierre. This is why he doesn't want to share his platform. This is why he doesn't want to talk about it. But here's the deal. This election is going to be very important. And I've said in my videos, you guys are probably sick of hearing it. It's the most important election of our lifetime.
But you're not the only one saying it. It is the most important election.
But that ties into what we're going to see at the polls.
Yeah.
Voters can't afford to vote for the Liberals anymore. They can't afford to vote for the NDP. The NDP can't even afford a plane.
Oh.
They're riding around the country on a bus. They're broke. They're cooked. Jagmeet Singh is going to be out of a job unless...
they want in power so that they can take your money.
What people are going to be voting based on in this election are two things that I believe. I think there's going to be two very firm issues in this election. I almost said leadership race. Technically it is. It's going to be the economy and it's going to be immigration.
Yep.
Those are the two factors I believe that people are really going to be strong on voting on at the polls. Even Gen Z are getting frustrated because they're saying, I live in a basement. I can't afford to move out of my parents' house. I can't afford
being in your 20s and 30s. You don't want to live with your parents anymore.
You don't want to be there. But people are going to be voting because of their wallets.
Yeah.
They're not voting on DEI. They're not voting on woke stuff anymore. They're not voting on inclusivity.
Or, legal drugs or any of the other things that they were voting on before.
Mark Carney can promise them the moon. And I don't think people are stupid enough to believe. And don't get me wrong.
There are some.
There probably are some. But I think as long as Pierre keeps hammering down what he's doing for the economy, what he's going to do for immigration, I think he's going to be okay. I like what I see so far. Trend coming out with $13.99 super chat. Send that crook Carney back to the bathroom in EU. Go Pierre, go.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for that super chat. And thank you so much to Spiro gifting 20 Unacceptable Fringe Patriots Club memberships to our viewers. Welcome to all 20 of our brand new Patriots members. Derek saying, stop sending money to the NGOs. That's one of the things. But Pierre has already talked about reducing government. He's going to cut back on the amount of government that's needed. He's going to cut back on money going to programs. And that's how he's going to reduce our taxes.
Yeah, by cutting government spending.
It's for every dollar spent, there must be a dollar saved. We've heard this for a long time. Again, I think Pierre has the best plan out of everybody. And that's the same reason why I said I consider Jason Levine a good friend, but I had to support the Conservatives in this race. Mostly because it's that important that we get away from the Liberals. I'm happy to get the PPC some seats. I'm happy to hear what they have to say on policy in any other election.
100%.
Any other election. But Justin Trudeau has completely obliterated this country.
We need all the help we can get.
We need every vote. And I'm not telling people how to vote.
No, this is our chance.
This is my personal view.
Attempt to get Canada back.
My personal view is that we just have too much to risk in this election. We got to be safe. Nilok, another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The Ring of Fire is a great idea. I agree. It also might be PP's way of removing financial reliance off Alberta, but I feel that will concentrate more power in Ontario.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see on that one. I think what Pierre wants to do, when you put the ring of fire into it, is that when you look at Alberta, when you look at what Alberta contributes in terms of transfer payments, what Alberta contributes in terms of GDP and the country's wealth, what Pierre wants to do is unleash that wealth in other sectors across the country so that it isn't just Alberta. This country, and part of the reason that I feel Donald Trump wants 51st state is because this country has the ability to be an economic powerhouse. If we just get rid of all the red tape, if we get rid of all the bullshit that's in the way, this country could be one of the most powerful nations in the world if we were to be able to get our products to market and sell at a decent rate. Chad with the $6.99 super chat. Jughead on tour in his 40-foot loser cruiser. What a bum. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jagmeet's getting fired. He's losing it. What's the one in the chat? Press 1 for voting for Pierre. Yeah, look at all those ones.
Yeah.
Look, I'll never tell people how to vote. If you want to vote PPC, vote PPC. If you want to vote NDP or Liberal, I don't know what you're doing here.
But this is
go
a
ahead.
very important vote. So think wisely.
This is the election again. That if you always said, my vote doesn't matter, my vote doesn't carry any weight, what's the point?
Get out there and do it.
It's not going to change anything. Go do it. Just go and do it.
This one's going to be too big to rig.
We need it to be too big to rig.
Yeah.
It has to be. It has to be. Thank goodness Charles is still the head of state. Well, I don't really want the monarchy in Canada. But
wasn't that his first stop?
This is exactly what I said to Jason Levine. It's our last chance.
Yeah.
And that's why, like Radio Reaction saying, every vote matters. It does. Guys, we often, if you look at statistics in federal elections, even provincial elections, Wab Kinew, when he won in Manitoba, I think they said they only had something like an 18% voter turnout or something like that in Manitoba. Like, it was really low, disgustingly low. The last federal election, because Aaron O'Toole was running, it was only something like a 32% turnout of eligible voters. We can't have that in one of these elections, in one of the most important elections of our lifetime. It has to be a higher voter turnout. If you got to wait in line, yeah, it sucks. You know, like if you got to
vote early,
it's
if you can.
Sharon saying it sucked in Manitoba.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got a friend in Winnipeg that tweeted out, like, this is why we're stuck and everybody wants to complain. Everybody wants to say this blows and we don't like it. And there's a lot more conservative minded people that seem to be around rural Manitoba. But he says the problem is none of them go out to vote. So they just wait and they see that Wab Kinew gets in and then they bitch and moan. Well, we don't have a conservative government anymore because Pallister screwed it up. And they don't think about the future. But it's because nobody gets out to vote. Nobody cares.
If you have the option to go out and vote early, go and do it. It's far less busy than going day of.
Save Canada with $5 super chat. I'll tell you how to vote. Vote a Conservative Party. That's your only hope if you want to get it better.
Yeah.
If you like starving and owning nothing, vote Liberal or NDP.
Exactly.
If you're going to put it in those two, then absolutely. Again, feel free to vote how you like. It's your right as a Canadian. Use that right. Just please use that right. I would be doing my country a terrible disservice if I did not try to convince you guys that no matter who you're voting for, you should get out and vote.
And we've got like what, 4 or 5 weeks to get that to convince people to get out there?
Probably about 4, less than 4. It's going to be crazy, guys. And keep your eyes open for the spam, for the interference, for the lies. Again,
it's going to be there.
Tomorrow and Thursday are going to be kind of crazy days for the Fringe because I won't have a ton of content out. I'll try and get some content filmed tonight. But after this stream, the studio gets taken down. Well, the studio, the equipment gets taken down. It's not really a studio here. Yeah, as the Joker says, it's gone.
As of tomorrow.
The movers come tomorrow,
so empty.
And then the next day we're moving into the new house. So I won't have time for a lot of content. But as this election continues, I will be here to make sure that everything we can get to this channel. I know I usually only do a video or 2 videos a day. If it takes 5 videos a day, 6 videos a day, I don't care what it's taking. The information is coming out. We have to be diligent. We have to make sure you guys are getting all information that is necessary. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you haven't subscribed to other political channels, subscribe to them now. Show them some love But also subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, but make sure when you hit that bell, it's for all notifications. Check back on those channels frequently as well, because YouTube often unsubscribes people unknowingly from channels saying, oh, we thought they were bots. The suppression is going to be unreal. And if the Liberals are going to pay for the polls to be tanked in their favor, they're definitely going to be sending some money Google's way to suppress any kind of media getting out
100%
in this election. Did you guys see Rachel Gilmore has been brought in by CTV to be a fact checker in the election? A far left nut job has been brought in to be a fact checker in the next election. David with $5 super chat. This is literally our last chance. If we lose, we will become a one-party country. If we lose, Alberta's going to separate. The call for separation is going to be so huge. It's going to be huge. Huge. Alberta's going to want to separate from Canada. Nobody wants to live under Governor Carney. Nobody wants to live in that kind of political setting. They'd rather live in Guatemala. But not here. Not in Canada, okay? We're going to vote properly. We're going to get Pierre in. My Trump impersonation is a little weak today. You'll have to excuse me because I've been packing boxes all week. I've been running all over the place. It's a little crazy. Spiro, $10 super chat. Good luck on the move, chat. Make it happen. Thank you for the super chat. Spiro gifting another 20 unacceptable fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Spiro, unbelievable. Thank you so much. Wow, very generous tonight. Welcome to 40 of our new members tonight, courtesy of Spiro. Absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
Go subscribe to Celtic Canuck. Go subscribe to Radio Reaction. Go subscribe to a lot of these channels that bring you
want
all
the real
facts.
News? Get out there. Yep.
You want the facts? Go get the facts. Quentin asks $5 super chat. First time watching. Nice work, guys. Ready to talk to friends and family about this election's importance, even if I lose some for being too political.
Yeah.
This is the time to be political. This is the time to make sure people are doing their due diligence.
This month, this vote is the most important.
It's so crucial. Kim with a $13.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I gotta get caught up in the chat. I've been rambling too long.
Going so fast. You tend to do that, you know? These new viewers don't know.
And Suki Link, even if Pierre gets in, we're done. We're moving out. I don't believe that.
No.
I don't want to believe that. Here's the thing. Call me naive. I appreciate your opinion. I don't want to down your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion. I just, look, I guess like I said before, I have a bias because I've met Pierre, talked to Pierre outside of a camera.
Give them a chance.
I want to give Pierre a chance, the benefit of the doubt. I've always told you guys, if he screws up, I'll be here to call him out.
I want to still have hope that there is hope for Canada, that we can get Canada back. We can still thrive to live here.
Celtic Canuck saying, I love the chat at the end. It's the best bit, says Celtic. The chat is the reason we're here.
Oh, I love the chat. We've got the best community.
Absolutely best community.
I don't get to see the chat until after, but
I'm really hoping Pierre follows through with what he says he's going to do, and I think he's going to. You got to remember, Pierre's an Alberta boy. He's an Alberta raised boy. People are going to say, well, so is Mark Carney. No, he's not. He's not a real Albertan.
He's not even Canadian. I know he's Canadian, but his mind is not here in Canada.
Xylo wins the internet today. If Carney wins, Canada loses.
Yes.
That's absolutely the best way to put it.
That should be a shirt.
That should be a shirt. Maybe we'll piss off the hate viewers and put out a shirt of that too.
I love it.
It's look, Pierre, I know where Pierre grew up. I currently live until tomorrow.
Yeah, like
in the same community, the same street almost.
Yeah.
5-minute walk from my door is where Pierre grew up. I know the people in this area. They're good people. They're conservative people. His parents were teachers in Calgary. They're conservative-based teachers. Keep in mind, they were teachers in the 80s and 90s, back before NDP turned all the unions and everything. Yeah, back when teachers actually gave a damn about their students.
Yeah.
The man's very well educated. He's a good person personally.
Yeah.
I'm vouching for Pierre as a nice guy. Okay, I like him. I don't know why people talk bad about this guy. They always say he says a lot of bad things, but you know what? I like him. He's a nice guy. But I still endorse Mark Carney because I think I'd rather deal with a liberal than a conservative. Look, I believe in Pierre. I might eat those words. I'm not going to fanboy and champion somebody.
A politician is still a politician. You have to question everything.
But anytime somebody tells me, well, Pierre's going to screw up the country, you're allowed to have your opinion.
Yeah.
But tell me a better option that we actually have to choose from in this election. Give me a better option.
I mean, you can say maybe he will, maybe he won't, but Carney definitely will. 100%.
I had it the other day where somebody said, I want like a Paul Martin type. I want this and that. They came up with a whole list of things they wanted. And I said, well, I'd like a toilet made out of gold, but it's just not in the cards.
Bathtub.
Maybe a copper bathtub like the liberals get. But the point is that we can wish in one hand and shit in the other. You have to look at what's available and say, what is the best option for Canadians? I think Pierre is it. Again, I've seen him in rooms with people at times where his handlers say, yeah, come on, let's go. And he says,
he doesn't
no.
want to stop.
He says, no, I'm staying. I'll tell you right now, when I was at that Stampede barbecue and he's serving pancakes, his handlers kept saying, let's go.
But he's there for the people. He
said,
wants to be there.
I'm not leaving until everyone in this line has the opportunity to say hello.
Yeah.
And he stayed, just like he stays at all of his rallies.
But
he's willing to talk to people.
You look at Trudeau, you look at Carney, they're there for their picture, in, out, done.
Reg with the $5 super chat is an old Albertan. We've been robbed by the libs.
Yep.
Conservative government, but I want to give PP a chance. Go blue. There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. What you have to tell, and even Jordan Peterson, very good friend of the channel. Love Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. How you doing, Jordan? I know he watches the channel. Jordan Peterson has ever said he's a clinical psychologist. He can tell when people are saying,
great video we watched today.
Truthful thing. He was talking to Piers Morgan. He says, I can tell when somebody's telling me the truth and stumbled over something or made a mistake, and when somebody's blatantly lying just to get me to believe what they're saying, and they're acting. He endorses Pierre. He's interviewed Pierre many times. He likes Pierre. He's behind Pierre. The guy shows
Even Joe Rogan shouted out for Pierre.
Joe Rogan shouted him out. I think Pierre should get on Rogan.
Yep.
I'd like to, if he's going to go on any American podcast,
that would be amazing.
It's got to be Rogan. But I think that out of a judge of character and my personal judgment of character, when I see him at the Stampede barbecue and his PR team's let's go, and he's saying no. In fact, I got to give him a shout out. He had in his Western gear, he was wearing a belt buckle that said "Axe the Tax." I thought
love that.
That was awesome. He had a custom made belt buckle. So he knows how to have a good time.
He does.
But it's
his business.
His character says, I'm not leaving. I'm speaking to everybody. They deserve a chance. They've stood in this line.
They came there to see him.
He's running for prime minister. He's not a celebrity. He knows that. Those are the reasons I want to give him a chance. People can talk about the political aspects. People can say, it's a uniparty. It's all these other things. I'm talking where I've said to myself, and I've said to you guys, I have a bias because I've been given access to Pierre a couple of times, and I feel that he's genuinely a good person, that he genuinely cares about this country. So I'm going to give him a chance. Does that mean I let him off the hook without any kind of repercussions? Absolutely not. And a lot of people have said Pierre probably hates, or his people probably hate that you call him out. That's why he'll never come on this channel.
Fine.
They appreciate me calling him out. We have to call him out.
We're here to do the truth.
They're happy with the
Good
criticism.
or bad.
I've said the same thing with Danielle Smith. She laughs every time I say people lose it and think that I'm criticizing you sometimes and that it's terrible. She says you're allowed.
She's happy to come back on the show every time.
She says you're allowed to criticize. In fact, she wants to come over and play arcade games.
She does.
Her people reached out to me the other day and said she's still busy, but she wants to know when she can come over to play arcades. Nilhawk, $5 super chat. With each leader comes a new party mandate. This isn't O'Toole cons. We have to give him a chance to either fail or succeed. He's shown his character so far. Very well stated. Thank you for the super chat.
Give him a chance. He's got 4 years.
John saying bring her over. At some point I will.
It's happening.
Danielle is going to come over. We're going to do some Alberta beef. We're going to do some steak. We're going to play some arcade games. Maybe do a little bit of a live in-studio interview. Whenever she's got the time, we're going to sit down. We'll talk 51st State. It's going to be huge.
She would love your impression.
I'll talk to her like Donald the whole time. I'll be like, Danielle, let's talk business.
That'd be great.
You hired. Do an arcade political chat with her. I want to do a Donkey Kong, like a Kong off with her on Donkey Kong Jr. I think that would be fun. Either way, folks. Part of my bias is that I've talked to these people outside of the camera, outside of the job,
outside of what everybody else sees.
and I just feel generally that they give a damn.
Yeah.
That Danielle, that Pierre see what's happening to this country. They've got families. They care about what happens to Albertans. They care about what happens to
Real
Canadians.
people who see the real struggle. Right? I mean,
do we have a troll here? Let me know. Do we have a troll? If we have a troll, have a laugh at it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? You're going to see this in a lot of streams, by the way, not just here. You're going to see this in video chats.
There are going to be so many more now this next month. It's going to be wicked.
Somebody mentioned in the comments the other day that the comments are getting a little crazy, a little aggressive. Bots are going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
And liberal shills are going to be everywhere trying to shut down people's freedom of speech. Don't buy into it. Don't listen to it. Ignore it. I sometimes get into those chats, the chats, and I get into the comment sections. I'll remove those people. So don't worry about it. Don't feel like you got to defend yourselves. It's going to be everywhere for the next couple of weeks, guys. Saved by Grace, 279 super chat. Mark's whole thing looks like Kamala.
Oh.
Kamala 2.0. It is his Kamala moment. He paid Mike Myers. A lot of people are saying, $50,000. It's not. That was a fake invoice, guys. In fact, the invoice was billed for a liberal propaganda video. It said in the description. It was clearly a fake invoice. I don't know what they paid, but regardless, Mike Myers sold out.
Yeah.
I won't watch his shit again, ever. And that's a shame because I like some of his movies. But even today, I seen like Dr. Evil clips on YouTube, and it's like, I want to watch it, but I can't.
Celebrities need to stay out of politics. They're not that important for us to listen to.
I'll give my endorsement to Pierre Poilievre. I'm not a celebrity, but I'll give my endorsement to Pierre. Fingers up, Mark Carney. Get those middle fingers up. CB, I have a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
There we go. I know you guys love that. You guys love that. Let's get off the politics. I have a gift for you guys. A gift for you tonight. Usually we pan out the stream for Q&A, and it's usually very short. I got to be honest, my kids went to my mother-in-law's today so that they're out of the way when all the hectic stuff's going on.
There's no screaming or fighting upstairs. It's wonderful.
I felt bad because the kids are bored. There's boxes everywhere.
There's nothing for them to do.
There's stuff all over the house. They
Getting in
can't
a lot of
do
trouble.
anything. So while they were gone, I'm walking around this house. I'm looking around, and I stood down here before the stream started, and I looked behind me. I looked at the arcades. I looked at everything that's here.
Is Arthur here tonight?
And no, I haven't seen Arthur in the chat. It's a little sad. I got to be honest. Master Snatch told me you're going to feel it at one point. It's going to hit you that you're leaving.
It hit you when you saw the empty kids' rooms this morning.
Because all three of my kids grew up in this house. I've lived in Calgary for 30 years. I've been here since I was a teenager. I met my wife here. This room that we're filming in is where everything began.
Yeah.
Where Unacceptable Fringe began, where this community began, where How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom was written in this very room. And it's a little sad to think that I'm excited to walk away from all of that and move on to something larger. A lot of good things have happened in this room. And I am very excited to see where we go next.
And come Friday, you're going to be so excited to be...
I'll be excited to be in the new space. However,
today is bittersweet.
I just want to thank each and every viewer who's in here, who's watching the stream, who's been to the stream, who's been here from the beginning.
Yes.
Who's joined us just today or joined us for the first time on this stream. I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million more times. I'm just unacceptable. You guys are the fringe. And you guys are the reason we continue to do this. So as I finish up my last stream in Calgary,
You're auctioning off the Dragon Slayer machine?
no, I'm not. I want to turn the stream over to you guys. Ask anything, whatever you want to talk about. If there's a subject you want to talk about, throw it up in the chat. I want to talk about anything you guys want to talk about for the rest of the time we have on this stream. Because it wouldn't exist without you.
No.
And the Fringe is only going to get better with you. And I look forward to
And
what we move
are
on
going to
to.
get better.
Oil Patch Mark, wow, $27.99 super chat. Walking into a conservative majority. All the best to you guys. Just keep speaking the truth. Oh, $27.99 super chat. Thank you. Wow, that's very generous. Thank you so much. I didn't even think about the fact that I just, like, this is where my books were written. At a time when we were all locked in the house, at a time we couldn't go out, we couldn't go anywhere. I was watching Tamara get arrested on TV. And my kids were asking me if we were going to get our freedoms back. All happened in this house.
Now your daughter's a lot more vocal about that.
Can we have pineapple on pizza? Yes or no? Get out.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Disgusting. Ugh. Are we getting more of Mrs. Fringe in the future, says Celtic? Yes, she's unemployed now.
I have nothing else to do.
She works for the Fringe. She's going to be on the channel. In fact, we may even get some videos from Mrs. Fringe in the near future.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Speaking of walking, did you watch Severance? No, I haven't had a chance. Been packing bags. We're running out of room. I don't have time.
Not a lot of time for TV.
Not a lot of time to watch movies. No, I didn't watch Severance. I'll watch it. Spruce Grove. I hear the reception's better. The movie won't be all blurry. It'll be 4K. How? Thank you for the question. Kenzie saying, question, could you write a couple of books about Danielle Smith? I could. You know, we were working on the Mark Carney book. We were working on the Every Circus Needs a Carney. It's on hold because Mark Carney could be gone in less than 3 weeks. So it kind of, the problem with these books is the time it takes to produce them and then get them out. They've got to be relevant. I kind of see where guys like Weird Al have a problem with their careers because Weird Al always says that by the time they get permission for these parody songs, things like that, they get one in the can, they got to get 15 more. That song's irrelevant by the time he gets his music out. So he was grateful for the internet for those reasons. It's kind of the same thing with these books. I got to find something that's tuned in.
Like, just do AI videos or something.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find something. But yeah, I'd love to do some books about Danielle.
We need 5 more thumbs. Are we looking for more thumbs?
Where are we going here?
Oh, who puts kiwi on their pizza?
I don't know. Probably the same savages that do pineapples.
Oh.
Terry saying these phone surveys are off the charts.
Oh.
One day in the last 4 weeks of work, a personal phone. I get these calls all the time, and I say, guys, stop calling. Miss Fringe doesn't like me talking like walking. I
don't.
They call and they say, are you going to vote liberal? I say, no. I'm voting conservative. I'm voting for Pierre. And they say, you're not going to fit this poll. And they hang up the phone.
Yeah.
I'm quite upset. I get mad. I'm going to go to Ottawa and say, guys, my vote matters. Listen to walking. Oh, okay.
You're missing things.
I'm done. Well, I got to get to these or they disappear. Phil Oliver with $7 super chat. I'll make a bid for Arthur on the Dragon's Lair game. It would save you all from moving it. I've got 2 Dragon's Lair machines. I've got this one, and then I've got the multicade one that's coming as well. Don't worry. Dragon's Lair machine will be on the studio set in the new house once it's built. It is the only arcade that is sticking around because Mrs. Fringe has given me a room for my arcades. I'm so ecstatic.
For how long, we don't know yet.
For how long, we don't know yet. Carbon tax costing 20 unacceptable Fringe memberships. How out into the community. Thank you for gifting those memberships. That's 60 so far tonight, guys.
That's awesome.
Wow. What was our record one night? We did 200 members in a stream.
I don't think it was that
or
much.
it was 100 and it was 160.
Yeah.
I think it was 160. That was our record, but we got 60 so far.
That's awesome.
We're getting close. But thank you for that. Let me find another question from you guys. I keep talking like walking. You know what's funny is that when I do walking, I can't stop. Like sometimes I'll do it walking around the house. I'll just be walking around and I'll be like, I'll go to my daughter and be like, Holly, what are you doing? Get off your computer. Shut it down. You're crazy. And she'll say, why are you talking like that? Mom hates it. But it's just, I get in a mood. Default setting, where are you moving? Fellow Calgarian will miss you. I appreciate that. We're moving to Spruce Grove. It's funny because
we've only been talking about it for 9 months.
Well, I was talking to my old man about it yesterday. We went for lunch so that he could see the kids before they took off. And you know, he said, you know, it's too bad you couldn't have stayed in Calgary. I said, we almost would have paid double for our house in Calgary if it were the same size, same lot. We just couldn't afford it. We could afford it, but we'd be check to check. We'd be getting multiple jobs. It wouldn't have worked out.
The haters would be happy because we would look like we were hungry.
It was our opportunity to move to a smaller town away from a big city. I know it's a bedroom community of Edmonton, but it's still 20 minutes away.
It's not Edmonton.
It's not Edmonton. The people are good people there. In fact, they've been so welcoming so far. I didn't realize we had so many viewers up and around there until we announced we were going. But I'm looking forward to it being a little quieter.
Yeah.
A little less immigration. How do I say that without being completely racist?
Oh, your daughter is so racist. It drives me crazy.
Just a little slower pace is going to be nice. And to have more for my kids. We couldn't have had it here.
No.
And it sucks because I spoke with Stephanie Kusi. I've given her my endorsement as well. She was my MLA in Midnapore. And she says, why are you moving? And I said, because I can't afford to live here. And she says, well, I thought you're doing okay. I said, we're doing very well, but we can't afford to get a bigger home for our kids. We can't afford to upgrade.
We're stuck.
We can't do anything. We're stuck in one place. I don't want to live in the same house for 50 years. I'm sorry.
We can afford to, you know, keep a roof over our head, but our kids can't do extracurricular activities.
Zylo is saying, answer the phone is Donald Trump. I'm not going to answer you polls. I'm not talking about that. I want Mark Carney on the phone. I want to talk to him.
Be like looking at the phone, like, who did I call?
I'm not voting for nobody. You get Mark Carney on this phone. We're going to talk about 51st state. We're going to talk about coming in there, blitzkrieging the country, taking it back. It's going to become a part of America. It's going to be a wonderful state, 51st state. It's going to be fantastic.
I just want Canada.
Oh my God.
Spank the like button.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Say it like OnlyFans.
Glenn B2 saying spank that like button, Patriots. Come on, do it, you bastard. Oh, that was my bad. I was sending a tweet. Are you going to buy Mrs. Fringe a chair?
Yes!
No, she's going to buy her own damn chair. She's getting a chair. Relax. Why does Mrs. Fringe hate walking?
I don't hate Christopher Walken. I don't like your interpretation of him. It's just so annoying.
You know what really grinds my gears? Mrs. Fringe hating my Christopher Walken. That's so stupid. I stand my ground. $5 super chat. It's not much. Best wishes to you and your family and your move and your new home. Thank you.
Much.
It is much.
It is much.
Any super chat is I love even when we get like a $1 super chat. I'm not. Please don't ever think that.
Just you being here is support.
Phoebe Long, quit talking like walking.
Yes.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop. Phoebe, you're crazy. You don't want me walking around.
See, I'm not the only one.
Is your studio in the basement in the new house, says Donovan? Yes, because it's an undeveloped basement. It's got the studs up. I'm going to get some sheetrock. We're going to get some wallpaper. We're going to get some stuff done to make it look real good.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah, she's going to look very tight.
It'll take a few weeks, but we'll get there. I mean, we have nothing else to do, so.
I'm going to lose my genitalia in an unfortunate smelting accident.
You might if you keep up with the walking.
Are you guys coming back to the Calgary Stampede, says Gerald? We'd like to.
Not sure.
We're going to try. I might be out in Manitoba this summer with the family. We'll see. Terry Lee, crap, I forgot to hit the thumbs up. Just got noticed. Hit it 10 times.
Well,
They're
you
like,
can't, because then it's like, unlike.
it's like Hail
Can't do that.
Marys.
I don't think that counts.
What do we got here? Why saying good luck? Love your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Derek saying we're over 500 now for sure. I hope so. I really hope so.
I don't know what happens at 500.
Once you sign up to a political party, you'll get pulled via email and by phone if you give your
Yeah.
info. Pulled regularly here in Ontario. Yeah, I got rid of my Liberal membership as soon as I saw how rigged that
No need for it afterwards.
election was going to be. Celtic, talking like walking. Don't worry, Celtic. I'll do that voice whenever we do our show. Yes. How's that?
The voice could be strictly just for that show.
Guys, welcome. Celtic. Only Fringe. Hanging around. Crazy, risky content. Talking politics. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Okay, no more walking.
Sleeping on the couch. There's no couch.
No more walking.
It's covered in boxes.
What do you guys want to talk about? Throw something in the chat. Let's talk about something. Are you going to use wood for basement walls with hempcrete blocks between for soundproofing? I'm not sure. I got to get moved into the house first and take a look and see what the budget is for the studio.
Yeah, there is a budget.
Believe it or not, folks, there is a budget. See,
Mrs. Fringe isn't working.
Keep in mind, I got to get lighting. I got to get cameras. We're going to try to do multiple cameras if we can. If not, I got to get a better camera than what we currently have.
You on every angle.
We got to get Mrs. Fringe a laptop, a chair, a microphone. We got to get her set up. It's going to be great.
I don't think the sharing thing is working out.
Does Spruce Grove have a movie theater? I believe they do.
I don't know.
Not that we go very often, but I do believe. I posted on Facebook that Carney was selected, not elected, and I was told I was spreading misinformation. How do I combat that? Each post I was attacked by the Liberals. It's hard to take. I don't attack them, says Airworks. So I don't know about Facebook. I got off Facebook ages ago. I have so many people who message me on Facebook Messenger. They try to find me and message me like articles and things on Messenger. I don't really go on there. If you guys ever want to chat with me, send an email to unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com. That's the channel's email address. You have a better chance of reaching me on there than you do Facebook Messenger.
Facebook is one of those page shells that is going to block anything that is against the Liberals.
They censored so much that when I was on there, even with my buddies goofing around, I just said, I'm done.
They did it during the coup. They're going to do it now.
What are you looking forward to if the Conservatives
Justin's going
win?
to build us a studio.
What am I looking forward to if the Conservatives win?
Having my life back.
I think just having anybody but the Liberals in charge.
Knowing
I think
that maybe
we'll pay a little less to live. Who's your favorite singer?
Oh, so many.
Yeah, but who's your favorite?
I don't know if I have a favorite. Do you have a favorite?
Yes.
ICP.
I haven't listened to Insane Clown Posse for like 20 years. Wow. I wouldn't say it's a singer, it's more a band. I'd probably go with like Guns N' Roses or AC/DC if I was to pick a favorite. It's not really a singer.
Yeah.
But John saying get her a good PC? Of course I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
What do we got here? What did you think about the SmackDown from Polyev? Which one? He's had so many lately. He's doing a great job. He's showing teeth. Again, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. I think Pierre is really doing what's necessary right now. He's got to, I think he could afford to get a little more aggressive still. Again, the next few weeks, that's why I'm saying, guys, if little things drop, I don't care if it's 6 videos a day, we're going to be cranking it out. As soon as the move's done, I'm going to make sure you guys are getting all that info.
You're going to have a lot more time with me being able to take care of the other one.
Yeah, with Mrs. Fringe home.
Get Miss Fringe a throne.
A throne?
Yes.
It's in the bathroom. We have a throne. We have multiple.
That's your throne.
Get some strobes. I don't want to give everybody epilepsy.
Yeah, we'll have
Are
a
you
little
kidding?
party going on down here.
Default saying I have twin 9-year-olds. They would not want to move at all. It's funny. I thought I was going to get a little bit more resistance from our kids when we said we were moving. They're actually excited. They want to move. I think they're just looking forward to a new start and kind of being the new kids. And
they're at that age where it's exciting to be a new kid. You wait a couple of years, they certainly would fight us on it, I think.
JD, unacceptable fringe. Do you see the Liberals just canned selected Liberal Graham Murray to bring Sean Fraser back? Pathetic. So I didn't see that. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. They did the same thing with Mark Carney's riding by kicking out Chandra Ara. What's really funny is a lot of people pointed out, hey, Chandra Ara got kicked out of, what was it, Nepean, wherever he's running in Ontario. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the riding. You
should know better.
Barbara Ball's running against him in Conservatives. I can't wait to get her on the channel. Hopefully we can get her on soon. But a lot of people don't realize this about Mark Carney kicking out Chandra Ara and saying, wow, he really got the shaft with the leadership vote, and now he's kicked out of his riding. His son, Chandra Ara's son, works for Brookfield, which is Mark Carney's company. Anybody else see a little coincidence there? That, hey, if your son wants to keep his job, maybe you should drop out.
But he was kicked out, not dropped out.
Something's going on. Something fishy's going on right there. Patty saying, I went door knocking with Stephanie Cousy Sunday, going again this weekend.
That's awesome.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. I can say it freely now because we're gone tomorrow. We're over in Somerset. I was hoping to see Stephanie at some point again. Again, I was chatting with her just before we were leaving.
Just a few weeks ago.
And I wish her all the best. Again, she's got my endorsement. Pierre's got my endorsement. I think great things are going to come if Pierre gets a majority government, but he needs a majority. Mike with a $5 super chat. Love you, Pierre. First time voting in 20 years. Conservative all the way. Sudbury, Ontario represent.
That is awesome.
Glad to hear you're getting out and voting. Thank you. Thank you. Should any Canadian politician still be sending cash to Ukraine? No, absolutely not. In fact, I'm just hoping that Trump gets an end to it so that we don't even have to, so they don't have to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Pierre doesn't have to talk about it. He's not forced to talk about it. I don't agree with it. I don't think we should be.
Yeah, Dustin, I'll build the studio.
Dustin says, I'll build the studio. I'm a certified electrician who can do plumbing and carpentry too. I appreciate the offer. I don't think we're going to do anything too elaborate. Again, I've got a few ideas. If we need any help, I'll put the feelers out.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you so much for the offer. Clorox bleach. Do you think Max?
I like that name.
Do you think Max will pull an RFK to help Pierre in these desperate times? I would love to see that. Honestly, I'd probably get off Max's back a little bit if he did that. I don't think it'll happen, but I think that would be great if he did. The problem I have with Max is that he's always blaming Pierre, but he doesn't blame the Liberals. It's like he's purposely splitting.
Type your email in the chat.
Is that what people are saying?
Yes. They're saying say it slower, but if we type it in there,
unacceptable.
It'll be much easier.
At gmail.com. Unacceptable.
Oh, I love that. I always wonder this comment.
I always wonder who would donate to Canada if we ever needed it.
Right?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Oh, I love that comment.
The email unacceptablefringeyt for YouTube. Unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com. There you go. Doug saying, I went door knocking yesterday with Ellis Ross in Terrace, BC.
Nice.
Go Pierre. Good to hear. I'm going to try and get out and do a little bit as well with people in my riding.
That would be awesome.
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, it needs to be too big to rig. So
would love to see Barbara Ball steal Nepean from under Carney. I'd love to see him not get his seat. That would be hilarious. Do you see the Liberals? Yeah, we talked about that one.
Is it possible to be prime minister if you don't have a seat?
No. No.
Nice.
Canceling the brown guy because he can't speak French.
Yeah.
Canceling the French debates because the preferred candidate can't speak French. There you go. Yeah. In the dictionary under redundant, it says see redundant. That's.
But he's willing to learn eventually. 20, 30 years down the road.
Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we wrap up the stream? Not a question, but I had to say this. I've been raised to never trust any party, neither politician nor government. Sorry if sometimes I do go against the current. I like you guys, don't get me wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
100%.
Yes. You're entitled to your opinion, and that's what I always say. I don't want to tell anybody how to vote, anybody how to think. And people say, well, sometimes it sounds like you're telling how to vote. No, never. Please don't ever feel that. Anytime I'm saying get out and vote, I'm not.
You should question your government.
Always.
Always.
Always. Even if you're like me and you know some of them personally, it's still okay to question them. That's their job. Yeah. Is to be questioned. They're supposed to represent us. Yeah. If I'm ever talking about getting out and voting, I'm talking about voting in general. I'm not saying because I favor conservatives in this election that means you have to vote conservative. Please just get out and vote.
Vote how you feel is right to vote, but go and vote.
Celtic, good luck with the move. See you on the other end. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the move being over.
I'm glad to finally be done packing and cleaning, and I guess tomorrow's one more day, but
funny how Ruby Dalla couldn't speak French and wasn't one of their excuses over them having conflicting ties to India or something. Yeah, they really were just grasping at straws.
Well, and I mean, there was questions about where their donated money was coming from as well, and it was conflicting with other ones, and it was just...
JD, we answered your question. Please stop spamming it in the chat.
Just reaching.
OAO saying, have a great and easy move. Well, that's why we hired movers. I hope it's great and easy.
I'm far too old to be lifting boxes.
Have you seen your new house yet? Well, we saw it when we put an offer on it.
Not since. We'll see it
Not
on
since.
Thursday.
We'll see it Thursday morning, I guess. Update your registration so you can vote. It's already done.
Yeah.
We're already ready to go. Would Carney have to relinquish Liberal leadership and PMship if he doesn't win a seat? I don't think we have to worry about that. If Carney doesn't win, he's going to take his ball and go home. He's going to walk. I guarantee it. He's not sticking around. He's not interested in being prime minister. He wants the mandate so he can destroy the country, give it to the WEF, and then leave. He's going to do the same thing he did in England with the Bank of England.
Quick in and out, be done.
Yep. One term, destroy everything, get out. Are you going to be vlogging during the move? No. Nope. I'm going to be far too busy.
We barely have time for anything now.
Once the kids are around again and things like that, I'm going to be way too busy. I don't like putting my kids on camera when I can help it. Yeah. I will not be vlogging. Nope. I will try again. I'm going to film a few videos tonight and try to spread them out.
Friday nights?
The next sitting you'll see, aside from videos filmed tonight, will be Friday Night Fringe. We'll do a live stream from the new house. It won't be in the studio because I'll need time to put that together. I'll be in some form of a space to sit and film for you guys. It'll be a room of some kind. Jay Peterson, $5 super chat. Lots of behind closed doors and secrecy in Spruce Grove City government. I've heard that. I'm going to poke my head into that a little bit when I get out there. Don't worry about that one. With that said, guys, let's wrap up the old stream. I got some videos to make for you guys. I'm going to try again with what's available to get some good content out for you guys. Make sure to watch those videos. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I want to give a huge shout out to those. Send us lots of pictures. I don't want to dox. I don't. People could do reverse image searches and find out where I live. I can't. I'm sorry. And it feels braggy. It just feels braggy. I want to shout out Carol Mungar, Canadian Nomad, Aaron Morrison, David Jenja, Jejna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right in some way. Will Marla, Jim Brown, Nilok, Save Canada, Lee D, Tran Vin Hugh, Spiro Floropolis. I hope I pronounced that right, Spiro. Chad Olmstead. I've got repeats here. Quentin S., Kim Allen, Reg Porter, Saved by Grace, Oil Patch Mark, Phil Oliver, Carbon Tax Carson, I stand my ground. Mike St. John, Jay Peterson again. Thank you to everybody who contributed to the channel tonight.
Thanks to everybody for coming out.
Thank you for making this community so great and making the experiences I've had in this house some of the most amazing ones that I get to leave as great memories. I look forward to what we're going to bring you in Spruce Grove. It's been my absolute pleasure to entertain my fellow Calgarians. And I can tell you right now that while I do not live in this city anymore as of tomorrow, I definitely stay in spirit and love this town. I just hate what it's turned into.
And we'll be back to visit.
We'll be back. We'll do lots of viewer meetups in Calgary when we come back to visit. Thank you to everybody for your support. I look forward to bringing you new content down the road. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, keep your stick on the ice. Take care of each other. Check out the new content, and I'll see you Friday for Friday Night Fringe. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Good night.